Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're in Canada, you know the dream isn't just about building a life for yourself. It's about sharing that life with the people you love most, right? I'm talking about your parents and grandparents. Well, today, we're going to break down the one visa that's specifically designed to make that happen. Not just for a few weeks, but for years at a time. We're talking about the Canadian Super Visa. You know, this quote it really hits home. It perfectly captures the whole point of the Super Visa. The idea is to stop having those heartbreaking, short airport farewells and start having family around for the big stuff and the small stuff. It's about actually building memories together, not just squeezing in a quick visit.
So what's the deal with this Super Visa anyway? Well, at its heart, it's a special multi-entry visa just for the parents and grandparents of Canadian citizens and permanent residents. But the thing that makes it truly special, the reason we're even talking about it, is how long it lets them stay.
Okay, look at this comparison. It tells you everything you need to know. A standard visitor visa, you might get 6 months. Then you're dealing with extensions that are expensive, uncertain, and just a huge hassle. But the Super Visa, it allows for a continuous stay of up to 5 years. That is an absolute game changer. That's half a decade of uninterrupted time with your family.
So who's who in this process? It's actually pretty simple. You've got the applicant. That's your mom, your dad, your grandma or grandpa. Then, you've got the host. That's you, the child or grandchild here in Canada, who's promising to support them financially. And here's a really important point. Other family members, like siblings, can't be tacked onto this application. This visa is exclusively for parents and grandparents.
All right, so how do you get one? It really boils down to proving 3 key things. Think of them as the 3 main hurdles you have to clear for a successful application. It's about medical coverage, your finances, and a personal promise.
First things first, and this one's a biggie, the medical side. Your parent or grandparent has to prove they have at least $100,000 in private medical insurance, and it can't be from just anywhere. It has to be from a Canadian company and be valid for at least a year. You might be wondering why. Well, it's because they won't be covered by our provincial healthcare, so this is the government's way of making sure there's a safety net in place. It's totally non-negotiable.
Next up, the financial foundation. You're going to hear this acronym a lot. LICO, which stands for Low Income Cutoff. Basically, this is the official income line set by the government. As the host in Canada, you have to prove that your income is above this line. It's the government's way of making sure you can actually back up your promise to support your family financially. And finally, there are 2 other essential pieces that complete the puzzle. First, the applicant has to pass a mandatory health screening called an immigration medical exam with an approved doctor. And second, you, the host, have to write a formal letter of invitation. This is basically a signed, written promise to the government saying, I've got this. I will take care of all their financial needs while they're here.
Okay, so we know the requirements, but what does this all actually look like in terms of dollars and cents? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the costs and the specific income numbers you need to hit, because planning for this is absolutely key.
So here's how that LICO thing works. The amount of money you need to make depends on your family size. And this is where it gets a little tricky, so pay close attention. Your family size isn't just your household now, it's you, your spouse or partner if you have one, any of your own kids, plus the parents or grandparents you're inviting. So for example, if you're a couple with 1 child and you want to bring both your parents over, that's a family size of 5. And as you can see, that means you need to show a minimum gross income of over $64,000.
And it's not just about meeting the income threshold. You've also got some direct upfront costs to budget for. There's the government application fee and a biometrics fee for each person. The medical exam will cost a few $100. And then, of course, there's that big insurance premium, which can easily be anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 or even more for the year. And just a heads up, you need to be patient. Processing times are usually in the ballpark of 3 to 6 months.
So what's the game plan? Let's walk through it. Here's a simple 5-step roadmap. First, get that LICO family size calculation right. It's the foundation of everything. Step 2, you have to purchase that medical insurance. You actually need proof of the policy before you can submit the application. Step 3, as the host, you gather all your financial documents, especially your official notice of assessment from your taxes. Step 4, submit the whole package online. And then finally, step 5, the applicant just has to wait for instructions to go and get their biometrics and medical exam. Now, even if you do everything by the book, applications sometimes get refused. So let's talk about the common roadblocks and pitfalls so you know exactly what the visa officers are looking for and what they're trying to avoid.
This right here is probably the most important question the immigration officer is trying to answer. You have to remember, even though it's for a super long stay, the Super Visa is still a temporary visa.
That means the officer has to be totally convinced that your parents will actually leave Canada at the end of their stay.
So what does that mean in real life? Well, think about it from their perspective. If it looks like your parents have sold their house, closed all their bank accounts, and basically packed up their entire life to come here, that's a huge red flag. An officer needs to see proof of things that they have to go back to. Things like property, other family members back home, maybe a job or a pension.
Okay, besides the ties to home issue, there are two other big risks that can torpedo an application. First, medical inadmissibility. If an applicant has a serious health condition, it could get flagged as being a potential excessive demand on Canada's health system. Second, your financial proof. This is so critical. Your income has to be proven with your official notice of assessment from the CRA. Just having a new job offer letter, even a high-paying one, usually isn't going to be enough on its own.
So after all that, after seeing the amazing benefit of 5 years together and the very real requirements and hurdles, you're left with this question. Is the super visa the right key for your family? It offers something truly priceless, the gift of time. It can turn those short, tearful goodbyes into long, meaningful reunions. Yes, it's a big commitment, for sure. But for so many families, it's the final piece of the puzzle that makes their Canadian dream finally feel whole.